You ever have a rough week? Ever just want to get comfortable, wear a comfy sweatshirt, do something easy and comfortable, and something that just is familiar and brings back good memories on a week when bad things are happening? Well, this week, instead of dinner, I'm making a snack that we always made as kids for New Year's Eve. Then as an adult, I started making it for game nights and things like that. And it's Chex Party mix. Except I use Aldi brand items, as I will show you momentarily. But you can sort of take this, adapt it as you want to. I started with the recipe that was on the back of the box. And just sort of like, I've done it so much that I just kind of wing it. So like measurements are inexact. I just kind of know what smells good and know that that's going to taste good. So let's get started, and I'll talk a little bit about what I'm making. So first off, you want rice and corn Chex minimum, or squares in this case. You can use wheat as well. I actually, when it's available, I get all three. And you want approximately 9 cups of cereal. I don't measure anymore, but I've got this big bowl that I always use. And because I'm just doing 2 cereals, it's going to be about 4.5 cups of each cereal. We got the rice and the wheat, and if you have corn, you can go ahead and do 3 cups of each. So for my big smoke-colored bowl, we're getting a little bit more than halfway up. Now comes the fun parts. The cereal's just kind of the anchor for everything. So what I always do is I try to do pretzels. You want a cup, a generous cup, so you know, a hefty handful or 2. So I always do pretzels, and I always do peanuts. I get the cocktail peanuts, but you can use dry roasted, you can use unsalted. This is a little bit of a salty mix here, so you want about a cup of those. So in this case, it's going to be about 1/3 of the 16-ounce can, 1/3 to half. And then this is where you kind of make it your own. Just what they have at the grocery store at the time, what you have in your cupboards, what tastes good to you. Generally, I do a cheese cracker. In this case, they're these little penguin-shaped ones, or like goldfishy type crackers. But a square cheese cracker is always welcome in this mix. But you could do, wheat thins. You could do, all kinds of different crackers. And then I usually want a wild card in there. And again, you want about a cup. I'm just going to put a little bit more than that. About a cup, a little over a cup of those crackers. And then I want a wild card item. A lot of times I get the rye bagel chips, or like a sesame stick. I've used ramen noodles that are uncooked. And you just kind of break them up and throw them in. That's actually a recipe that I saw on Martha Stewart's website, so it's not as trashy as it sounds. But then today I'm going to be using pita chips. And again, a cup or so. So this bowl is pretty big, but it's full now. So next you need the butter mixture. So I have melted a stick plus 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter. And then you want to add Worcestershire sauce. This is going to add saltiness. It's going to add like a umami kind of unusual flavor. And you want about 2 tablespoons, so several shakes of it. You can measure it if you want to. seasoned salt. So this is another salty component. That's why, you know, if you're feeling, ooh, that's too salty, get unsalted peanuts, skip the pretzels, and replace them with something else, you know, and kind of lower your salt content. And you want about a teaspoon of that, maybe a little more. So a couple shakes of that. Instead of the peanuts, you could also use cashews. I've done that before, and that's really delicious. You could use those chickpea snacks. You could use wasabi peas. But you just want like kind of a round, like hard crunch. So I do just a tiny bit of cayenne pepper, just a little bit of heat in the background. You don't want a lot unless you like it super spicy. But even then, it's going to be overpowered by the salt. So then about a teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder. And then a little bit of black pepper, about half a teaspoon. So a little shake of that. Stir that all together. And, you know, because you're stirring it into a fat, like melted butter, you have to make sure that your seasonings don't clump together. You don't want like a big bite of cayenne or garlic or seasoned salt especially. So you're going to smell sort of that Worcestershire-ness. It smells so good. It's going to be a dark, like wheat toast color. And then you pour that over your bowl of dry things. Give this a really good mix. You want everything covered in that butter mixture. And, you know, with this one, I've got a couple different shapes, a couple different sizes. I've got different flavors happening, but nothing super strong. If you want to add like a flavored pretzel or a flavored chip, like the garlic bagel chips are good in here, or garlic sesame sticks, a flavored pita chip. So those are all good. I have used bacon fat as part of the butter to make a bacon flavored one, and then I use the crumbled bacon in here. That is delicious, but it's an extra step that I'm not doing today. Because remember, it's about being comfortable. It's about something really easy. So you then want to divide these onto 2 baking sheets and spread them out in one layer. And then once they are layered out, you're going to put them in a preheated 250 degree oven. That's a super low heat, but we're drying it, we're not baking it. So you put it in for 250 degrees for an hour, stirring every 15 minutes. And once we're done, I'll show you what it looks like.